Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we're looking at a rather strange vehicle. This one is called the Proto-Stinger MK.2, which is this glorious thing over here. So this, like I said, is a very strange vehicle to describe. It essentially can move up and down on a bunch of hinges, and it moves around on the wheels how they are right now, and it just works rather well. You can see all the tyre tracks around here from where I've been messing around with it, but just looking down, that's how the wheels have been set up. And yes, it's going to look very weird when we actually drive this thing around. But for the moment, we can find it in the spawn menu, where it comes in at 212 small blocks using the wasteland and decorative block number 2 DLC packs. We've got a little bit of information about it on the Steam Workshop page, as well as the control scheme, and a little bit of help to actually start this thing up. So giving this thing a thumbs up, moving around to the very front here, we'll have a quick look around the outside, a very quick look in fact, then we'll get into it, I'll show you what it can do, and just the overall weirdness of it. So, at the very front, this is what we get. So we've got some yellow and grey steel blocks that come out as a massive spike, with some rocket launchers and Gatling guns right beside it. Up and above here is our cockpit of how we're going to drive this thing around. We've got some wasteland spotlights, our rover chair, and one hell of a lot of windows so you get a good view all the way around you, and hopefully be nice and protected from any kind of oncoming shots. If it was just to drop down and come onto one of the legs, we've got some atmospheric thrusters to help push this thing around. We've got some more spotlights to light up the darkness. There's a couple of batteries behind some barred window blocks. Then just moving my character out of the way and bringing the camera further down, that's what we get underneath it. So we can see one hell of a lot of hinges that connect up all the wheels together, and they do fold all the way up and all the way down depending on what mode we set it into. For the legs themselves, this is all we get. So we've got atmospheric thrusters on them, and there's the wheel at the bottom. Then just come around onto this one, we now move around. That's what it looks like on that side. There's the opposite. There's an access panel so you can edit anything on this vehicle. There's a gyroscope, there's some more batteries. And around towards the very back, there's some decoys behind our rocket launchers, even more atmospheric thrusters, 2 large batteries sticking out the back, moving all the way up and looking down. That is what we get. Then just dropping down and coming directly underneath it and facing straight up. That's how it's all been put together. That all done and out of the way, that's a very brief look around the outside of the Proto-Stinger MK.2. So now what I'm going to do is just come over to that control panel and then put it on the power. The reason why I've had to turn off the vehicle is because it doesn't sit still. I'm not too sure what's going on with it, the brakes are turned on, but it just doesn't want to stay in one place. So just finding those batteries on the back there. There we go, we now toggle that on, and like I said, it's going to start moving around. So we need to come around over to the opposite side. We've got this lovely button, press that, and it's going to fold all the way down to the ground. Lid and all the guns will fold up to allow you to get inside it. So I'll do that right now. And this is what we get on the inside. But yes, to come into the actual proper mode, which is put all the power on, I can press number 8, and now the vehicle is going to stand up on its legs like how it was. And now we're ready to drive this thing around. So number 1 is going to be to fire our Gatling guns on the side there. Number 2 is going to be for our rocket pods. Number 3 is for a in case of doing a jump button, where what it will do is activate the atmospheric thrusters underneath us to soften the blow. Number 7 is then to manually open and close the lid in case we need to hop out for any odd reason. Number 8 is to put the vehicle into active or standby mode, and number 9 is to put it into parking mode, but it currently does not work. With that all done and out of the way, now it's time to move this thing around, and this is how it drives. It's a very odd vehicle to drive around. It just feels very strange, it's very smooth, very silky. And if we just change in all directions, it's just a very odd thing to describe. Can get up to some very good speeds with this thing. I do kind of dread going over a slight bump because I have a feeling it's going to destroy all the wheels. But look at the speed, we're just gliding around here on the desert. And yeah, we're now at maximum speed. It still feels extremely odd in first person view and third. There is a tree. And we just did a little bounce. We now turned around and we can just spin the vehicle. And we don't lose any kind of momentum. If you really want to, we can press number 8, lower the vehicle all the way down and drive it around like this if you needed to. Then we can put it up. And we can come over to this lovely little canyon and activate our jump button to see how it can save us. Just turning this thing all the way around. We might just glide all the way past it. Oh god, there it is. Activating them. And there we go. We're now just flying along here. Hopefully we'll land down nice and safely. There we go. Now I can turn it off, and we can continue along on our journey. And there we go. That's all the Proto-Stinger has to offer. I just saw it and thought it looked very fancy. And when I played around with it, it was just Very weird how it's all been done. So if you wish to download and play around for yourself, there'll be a link to it in the description below. I highly recommend you do, because it does have a very unique setup with all the wheels. In fact, the wheels have stopped moving around, so I'm not too sure what's going on with that. Now we can just drop ourselves down again if we need to, bring that all the way up. As I was saying, there's a link to it in the description below if you do wish to download and play around for yourself. I highly recommend you do, and I'll be back with another video some point soon. Oh god, I've lost control of it, it's just spinning around, my computer is extremely angry, we are gaining momentum. But yes, anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.